Hey guys, this is John with JK Rants and Reviews, and today I wanted to do an episode on 3D printed accessories for Power Rangers Megazords that I got from rangersforge on Etsy. He is from across the pond. God, now I feel bad where he's coming from, but so it was a little expensive on the delivery fees, but I bought enough from him that it covered it, and it's great quality. Good deals, and so I just wanted to focus on two Megazords that I bought the most from, and we will start off with the original Megazord, and then we'll go to the Zeo Megazord. So with the original Megazord, I like to restore these, but the accessory parts, there's so many that come with this Megazord that it gets very expensive. Like a good power sword will run you about $30. The Mastodon head alone is probably another 30, 35. The horns, if the original horns, they're probably, they can go for about the same, 30, 35. And then the cannons usually go for about 25 to 35 as well, depending. And then the tail tip on the back here, it can go, same thing, $20 to $35. So really, it's all, pretty much every single accessory is at least $35, including also the wings of the pterodactyl. They can be in the same price range. So yeah, I pretty much bought everything except the only thing he didn't have, at least that I didn't see, or he didn't have the Triceratops cannons. But I only needed one of those, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But anyway, let's start with the Power Sword. This is the 3D printed Power Sword. It's nice and chunky. I bought them you have two options when you buy these. You can buy them painted, or you can buy them just standard 3D printed plastic. Most of these I just said standard, and then I painted them myself. I should have had some before and after, but I got excited wanting to do these. So let's just put this one, and then I did paint this. This is not the original chrome from the 90s Power Sword. I painted it. It's got a little issue there at the tip. And then this has a nice raised surface right here and no hollow up here. I drew this in with just a pencil. And then I painted the handle black, and then I chromed out the sword. And it's a little bit bigger than the 90s one, which is fine. Looks good. I would have preferred maybe a little bit smaller, but that's fine. Fits really nicely in the hand. And it's real nice. I think it's a good, I think once again, I want to say that that's maybe somewhere between the $4 and $6 range, which is amazing. Instead of paying $30. And I think it maybe looks a little bit better. I think I would prefer the 3D printed. So let's move on to the Mastodon, the shield. Whoops. So here is the Mastodon tusks and trunk. The trunk has articulation. It also has, let me see this real quick. Let me pop it out of the hand. The little, I don't know what those are. The little blaster things that sprays the frost or whatever, which is really nice. Sometimes it struggles sometimes to hold in the, like this is the shield form, and the trunk is all the way back. Sometimes it likes to flop, but most of the time it's pretty solid. And the tusks are awesome. We'll show the other ones over here, the original 90s. Come here. So the original 90s is chrome. And they're hollowed out on the insides here. And then the tusk and the trunk is all hollowed out, and there's no articulation in the trunk. So that's a big improvement there. Tusks are a little bit smaller, but they look great. I mean, it just looks great. I'm really happy with that. I'm glad I picked that up. Next thing I want to cover is the cannons. Just got to move a couple things real quick, and we'll rotate to the back. I could not find my cannons, the original cannons for the 90s Megazord. Not sure where I stored them, but this is the 2010 cannon and / legacy cannon, which is basically the same thing, just in a smaller version. Little different plastic, but it doesn't matter. It's hollow on the inside, and that's where it would go. And then when you turn it around, you can see the hollow, and it always bugged me. But with the Ranger Forge 3D printed, it looks just like it's off the show. It's right below the horns, solid all the way around. And I won't pull those off, but it comes with the same cross point right here. They were a little thick, so I angled in the sides here and here, and then it fit in like a gem. Piece of cake. I've got a little grinder, just took a second, and it went in there, and they look phenomenal. I love, 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 love the cannons. Bought a lot of those cannons. Love them. Next thing we'll do, since we're already here, is let's do the tail tip. Tail tip's expensive, hard to come by, and there's not a lot on eBay. So this is a good cheap version. I want to say it's like $3-4, super cheap. Cannons, I wanted to say, were somewhere also again between $3 and $6. Everything pretty much here is between $3 and $6, depending on if you want to get it painted or not. So very, very affordable. I apologize for not having the prices ready to go, but everything is very affordable. And the shipping's a little expensive, but that's because he's overseas if you're in the United States. But great deals overall. Anyway, back to the thing. Here is the tail tip. Fits really nice. Looks great. It is a darker shade of red. I believe this is not painted. I could be wrong there. I think it's just red plastic. I did not buy it painted. Figured I could do it myself. So there's that. I did have to grind these down a lot. This, I almost had to grind it down to where the nubs were non-existent. Let's see if I can bring that in there and see if I can get it focused. Those really stick out. I had to grind those down quite a bit. He said on his, he had no issues with his, so it could have been something with my Megazord. But with other Megazords that I have, I would have to grind it down for them as well. But not a big deal, especially if you have a grinder. I mean, even a cheap grinder can do it. And it's got that nice little tip at the end. It's hollow, just like the original. Would have preferred it to not be hollow, but it's really nice, man, especially for the price. Once again, I apologize. I don't have the prices, but prices change all the time, and I'd hate to, lock them in for something that might change in the future. So, next, let's go to the Triceratops horns. Now, on mine, I could not get, and I apologize, these are glued in, so I can't take those out, but they're the same thing. They got this little nub here, and they're hollow on the inside, where this is not. And this has a bit more of a curve to it, making it feel a little bit more animal-like, more animal-like. So I like that. It's got nice grooves here. I painted this. These do not fit. They would have to be, they would have to be glued in, which is not a big deal because most people glue them in anyway, because even the originals fall out very easily. You can see it looks great. Looks better than the, there it goes. It's gone. Looks better than the original. I'll glue them in and they will look phenomenal. So overall, very happy with all the parts to this Megazord. But last but not least that I bought for this Megazord, the pterodactyl wings. Pterodactyl wings are really hard to come by and they're expensive. Here's the original. So here's the original, and here is the 3D printed wings. See if I can get them side by side right here. Get a closer look. They're basically the same size. The 3D printed are a little thicker. The original wings are going to be a little bit better just because they match the plastic real well. With these, I painted them chrome, and they look great. I mean, they really, really do. They fit well. They fold well. I have no complaints really whatsoever. But I would say that in this case, the originals are a little bit better just because they match the plastic perfectly. But if you were to paint the rest of this, I mean, it would obviously even out. But that's the pterodactyl wings. And when they fold up nicely. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed. So there's the original. Here's the 3D printed. Bam, look at that. Perfect. So no issues when putting it onto the Megazord. They fit fine. So this is how you get a better Megazord and a cheaper Megazord. You buy a blank slate Megazord, you get some BD15 decals, you buy some 3D printed molds from rangersforge, and you make an amazing Megazord. I have not done the new stickers yet, but I just wanted to go over the 3D printed molds just because I'm so impressed. I got to be honest. Now switching over to the Zeo Megazord. The two items I bought for this Megazord are the sword and the bull horns, both of which are kind of pricey. The sword's probably around $20 to $30 again. If you buy the original, sorry, I haven't glued that in yet, but this guy is, like I said, somewhere between the $4 and $6 range. I painted it. Once again, it came in a black. Oh, and I just broke the original. How about that? See, that's why you buy the original, or that's why you buy a 3D printed. So it's like right on camera, you break it. Way to go. So I got this one broke at the hilt, and this deal is trying to come off. Anyway, so here's those differences. Once again, hollow in there. It looks cheap plastic. I mean, this you can tell there's a little bit of 3D print going on, but it looks great. The Zeo symbols there look good. The cog wheel thing, crown looks great. The handle looks good. Looks better, more accurate to the show. So love the sword. Can't believe that broke. Lame. And then next, come here, are the horns. Now, these are fantastic. Come here. Come here. These are fantastic. So once again, these are hollow. They fit really well. They fit flush, and they look good. They're a nice size, but this really stands out. Not quite as flush. Might be a little different with my print, but I love it. It looks so good. It looks more realistic. It looks more intimidating. They're sharper. They're pointier. Once again, I did paint these. I love these horns. These horns are expensive. This helmet right here alone is like $50, and the horns are probably at least 40, probably. But yeah, really like those horns. So overall, I also bought some other pieces that I didn't display. I bought the bear bite down bar, and a couple of tail tips for the Dragon Zord that I just wasn't going to go into. But overall, very impressed, very happy with this. Check him out on Etsy, rangersforge. Tell him JK sent you if you buy anything from him. Share this around. Help your buddies who are big Power Ranger fans that want to piece together some of their 90s nostalgia. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I missed anything, if you're curious about any other details. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. JK out.